Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And I tried to do this game in May, but unfortunately my Let's Play recording setup at the time made it impossible to do so due to video encoding problems. Now that I got a slightly different setup that I know works now, I'll be able to play this game again and do it for the channel, and hopefully all the videos will come out right. Originally decided to play this after watching a Let's Play by The Retro Macintosh, and I got the first video to work, but unfortunately due to video encoding problems I couldn't get the rest of the videos to, well, work like I wanted, and unfortunately I had to scrap it back in May. And since then I've watched all the rest of his. I've watched the rest of Replayability's, but pretty much all of Replayability's Let's Play this, and I've actually learned a few things about the game, and I've also played through it myself a couple of times, and I've gotten much better at the game than when I initially tried to Let's Play it. Matter of fact, I played it recently, like a couple of days ago before I recorded this, and I was able to get through the final round very easily, which is not what I expected. Also, here's the storyline. I might as well go ahead and mention this real quick because we're looping back to this screen again. When the game came out in Japan, it was presented as a remake of Castlevania 1. When it was translated into English and brought over to the West, however, it was presented as a sequel to Simon's Quest. It wasn't until the advent of the internet that we had trouble trying to figure out whether or not the game was canon, and if it was, where would it have belonged. And it wasn't until Koji Igarashi, also known as Iga, a producer for a good multitude of the later Castlevania games, he stated officially that the game was a remake of Castlevania 1. And because of that, the game is pretty much viewed as such ever since. It was always such, is that Konami US didn't treat it as such. It treated it like an actual sequel, when in reality it was just a standalone remake of the first Castlevania game. And while Castlevania 1 is good in its own right, this game doesn't really set out to replace it, and I'm glad it doesn't. Instead, it's a very good retelling with some pretty nice gameplay flourishes that we wouldn't see until the later games. And, well, pretty much all I have to say for the beginning of this, and I've been sitting here for about 7 minutes, gushing on about this game. I might as well go ahead and go to the options menu and show you the controls. You obviously move around with the control pad, but you jump with B, you attack with Y, and you use the R button to throw your sub-weapon. No longer do you have to hold up and press the attack button to use your sub-weapon. You now have the ability to use it with the press of a single button in this game. First time that was ever done in the franchise. And we might as well go ahead and start a new game. This game does have passwords, that's what the continue option is for. And as soon as you start a new game, or continue an existing one that you stopped prematurely, you go to a name entry screen. You have up to 8 characters to input. Confirm with the A button, back out with B, and this time I'm going to do PW, because I already did the truncated version of Watercress in the playthrough for King Colossus. Still have nice memories of it. I'm actually wanting to Let's Play it again, even though I did everything I could in that game. And, anyway, once you're done, press start, and you go straight to the screen where Simon Belmont, the game's protagonist, pulls out the vampire killer, and the fog clears around Dracula's castle. And what I just picked up was an upgrade for the whip, that little gray thing that looked like a dagger with a sort of metal vine around it. That you can pick up to 2, you can take up to 2, and it changes your leather whip to a metal whip and then to a much longer metal whip. And of course it's more powerful when you do that. Pausing the game real quick to show off the heads-up display. Starting with the score in the upper left-hand corner. Below that is your health, the bars next to the word player. Below that are the bars next to the word enemy. That is the boss health meter. We won't have to worry about that until we reach the end of the stage. To the right of all that is the current sub-weapon that you have. There are a couple of sub-weapons in the game, and I will be going over them when we see them. To the right of that, the block number. Stage number comes first, followed by the section number. Below that is the amount of hearts we have. Hearts are used to power up the sub-weapons. To the right of the hearts are our lives. So right now we have 5 lives. And below that is the amount of time we have to get through the entire stage. So right now we start off with 450 seconds for stage 1. And the only way to refill time is to die, either at the hands of an enemy or a pitfall or from time over. You do not get extra time from going to the next section. So all that time you have, that's all you got to get through this stage, as well as any subsequent stages. Anyway, let's go ahead and whip some candles and get some hearts. Small ones are worth 1, big ones are worth 5. Hold up to go up the stairs. And this is a dagger. Very quick throwing weapon. In case the range of the whip doesn't work for you, you can always throw it at an enemy. After crossing some blocks that would crush under our weight, We jump onto the door, which acts as a drawbridge, and we're finally in the castle. And there's our second upgrade, finally. And there's the skeleton! This is where we start really enjoying the game now. Also, there's a door in this fence. By pressing up, we can go in and, well, be in the foreground. We can finally be behind the fence. Let's just get past this pit, which we cannot jump over. Do not even attempt to do that. You will die. It would be embarrassing to die in the first stage of Castlevania 4. And I'm going to get some hearts here before I take care of the skeleton. Hold down, press B, and we can jump off the stairs if we're on them. And that's apparently in the foreground. I don't know why I tried to attack that. And that chicken leg refills at least a third of our health bar. So in case you're hurting for health, that will help a little bit. And we're fighting off skeletons and bats so far. These things are going down really easily. Also, I can hold the control pad in one of 8 directions and attack in 8 directions. And there's our good old friend, the Bone Pillar. Takes 3 hits to kill, will shoot fireballs at us. And I also got the cross earlier, too. Best weapon in Super Castlevania 4, not the Holy Water like you would think. And in here is the axe. It's just a weapon you throw really high, doesn't do a lot of damage. I'm not picking it up because I want to keep the cross through this entire playthrough of the game. Go ahead and attack some more candles, get some more money. Forgot to mention that the money bags are worth anywhere from 1 to 700 points, and you need points to get lives. You can't get lives out of points. And that brown jug gave us temporarily invincibility. Very useful, though not in this case. Could be in other cases, but, well, not that one. And about the points. Don't want that dagger. The first extra life you get via points occurs at 20,000. From there, you have to get another 50,000 for every subsequent extra life. So the first one's at 20k, second one's at 70k, then 120, then 170. You get the idea. And if we attack this thing with the whip, we can swing around with left and right. Using up or down can control our height on our jump, as well as where we are on while swinging around, which is very nice. Adjust your height for bigger jumps. And that guy goes down with a couple of hits. If we get too close, he does club us. And now you see that bone pillar? Now you don't. Despawn that thing. Oh, and if I hold right and down on these stairs, moonwalking. And if I hold Y and move the control pad around, I do this with the whip. You're probably wondering how to do that, now you know. And we got some jumping skeletons now. Some of these guys are now throwing bones at us, some of them aren't. And that Roman numeral 2 I just got out of the wall there is the double shot. That allows me to throw 2 sub-weapons at one time as compared to 1. You start out being able to throw only 1 sub-weapon, but when you get the double shot, you can get 2. There is a triple shot, it's in Roman numeral 3, and it allows you to throw up to 3. And you keep the double shot or triple shot until you either die or you accidentally or on purpose switch to another weapon. Notice I said accidentally. Speaking of other weapons, there's a Holy Water, that mainstay from the first Castlevania game. Throw it on the ground, creates a holy flame that destroys enemies to the touch. Pretty nifty weapon, I guess, if you like that sort of thing, but I'm sticking to the cross because I feel like it. And we got these things. Those things just go down in 1 hit. And there's me whipping in 8 directions again. I can whip diagonally now because, well, the game allows you to do so. It's the first game to do that. And we also took care of those little horse head ghosts there. And they do track you in the air. And how I managed to hit that, I'll never know. That one sometimes catches me out. And let's go up the stairs and say hello to the final sub-weapon we'll be introduced to, the stopwatch. When used, it slows down, basically it stops time actually for a few seconds. Can be a very nifty sub-weapon if you need it. Some of the sub-weapons use more hearts than others. Thankfully, one use only constitutes the loss of a few hearts, but other than that, be sure to use your hearts wisely. Be sure to expend them and use your sub-weapons wisely. And those ghosts can go down in 2 hits. I just do the whip wiggle thing because I can. And I forgot to mention that there are 2 kinds of meat power-ups. There are the chicken legs that I found earlier, much earlier in the game, and the rump roast that I found in a wall shortly after I introduced the axe. The rump roast gives you about half your health back. And here's the first boss. This skeleton horse. Just strike the head and it'll go down. And once you get this thing to about half health, you fight off the little skeleton lancer here. He will move very slowly and try to attack you with the lance. He also has a diving attack, but it's very easily telegraphed and you can easily see it coming. And of course you can hit him on the way down. Very easy boss for stage 1. And once you beat a boss, you grab the magic crystal, you get your health refilled, and you get a time and heart bonus for all the time you have left on the clock, as well as all the hearts you have in your possession. So it really makes sense to stockpile on hearts and also try to get through these areas as quickly as you can. Do want to be careful, of course. This is not an easy game. And we are now ready to start stage 2. And there are those zombie hands. Those things don't damage us, but they do stop us, and well, it may allow other enemies to attack us, like this bush monster you can barely see. And I really, really love the music here. I'm also attacking these things anyway because they give you 50 points apiece. And I don't want that axe. I'm just stay away here. Let that axe appear, and then take on the spider, which will attack us by shooting us with other spiders. Apparently it has no care in the world for its offspring. I thought I was going to see another zombie hand there. And I deftly avoided that spider projectile there. Now let's go down. And there is a spike pit. You obviously don't want to fall into those. Those are instant death. So be careful not to fall into spikes. There are also bottomless pits in the game, but you probably figured that out from the courtyard and stage 1. You definitely don't want to fall in those either. And there's a few places that we can go. I don't know why I did that. I could have just did this. Just attacked them from a distance. These little hedgehogs that just move around and then suddenly roll all over the place. Well, we're going to run into a chicken leg eventually. Matter of fact, it's right here. And if you jump to the left, you can get over here, get 5 hearts. Of course, all the hedgehog enemies that we just fought off are now going to respawn, but, well, what can you do? So now we got to take care of these guys. And I'm going to take care of this guy safely this time. And then we're going to go to the right. And there's a spike pit here. You can't see it in case you're able to finally drop down accidentally, but, well, at least an explanation for what happens if you fall down that pit. I kind of like that. And we won't be meeting zombie hands, but we will be meeting actual zombies, as well as that hedgehog that well, I wouldn't say accidentally, but sometimes catches me off guard. Sometimes it does catch me out. I can never see that one hedgehog near the end of the first section coming. And here's a bird. Goes down in 1 hit, even with the whip wiggle. And these plants that come close when you come close, they sprout out. I'd rather just use a straight up whip attack against the bats, but in case I can do the whip wiggle with it, I can. And if I hold Y and then hold down the control pad, I should be able to take care of this frog, maybe? There we go. Also, you want to be very careful with this water. You can stand in it for about a second, but if you're standing for too long, you will sink. And you don't want to do that. So you want to be careful. If you land in the water, you want to jump around as much as you can and get out of there as soon as possible. And sometimes I find the triple shot in here, sometimes I don't. Finding the double shot and triple shot is kind of random. Okay, I found the rump roast. Sometimes I find the triple shot in there. But the more you use your weapon, the more likely you are to find the triple shot. Maybe finding it later than I want. I may just be living with the double shot here. And I don't want that knife. That dagger. I keep using dagger and knife interchangeably with that weapon. There's a triple shot. Let's go ahead and grab that. I thought I would be fighting the mini boss here that's coming straight up without the triple shot. But mini boss is easy nonetheless. But if you have the cross and the triple shot, here's what you do. Get all the way to the left, duck down. Didn't even have to use my whip, even though I struck at it just in case with the whip, and well, I don't think the whip even hit the Medusa there. Medusa just moves around shooting at you with little eye beams. And no. Don't want the axe. And we now in this stream that moves us around, and there's Wingnut from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, which wouldn't be for another 2 years. Wingnut looks a lot like these guys though. They do go down in one hit. Also, if you hear a rushing sound, that's the sound of the current changing directions. Like so. And you also want to watch out for these red spikes. Some of them are up high, but some of them are in the floor, like these. And you want to be careful. We're at another section here. I'm going to take care of this bone pillar first. This bone dragon, bone totem, bone pillar. And I thought I was going to land right into those spikes. That would not have been good. I played hard enough to get the cross in the triple shot. Thank you so much. There's also an extra hidden extra life here. I want to take care of this bone pillar first so I can show it off to you. And then right here, whip up at this column here, and you'll hit a candle that gives you the hidden 1-up. 1-up icon is just the word 1-up in yellow. You'll be able to see it for real, I think, in stage... somewhere between stages 4 and 6. I'm not really quite sure which one it is. I'll recognize it when I see it. But we're finally at the end of stage 2, and we're going to go on to stage 3, which takes us through this cave and through some little waterlogged ruins right there. I really like the first 3 stages in this game. Really nice introduction to the game, really nice setting for these stages. Music really drives the atmosphere, it really matches up with the settings. They did a really good job with the soundtrack on this game. I want to be careful here. Sometimes you'll see bats come at you from behind if you wait at certain spots. And I believe there is a bat that will take me by surprise here. There it is. I want to be careful with these spikes, especially the ones at the beginning. I accidentally stepped in them once, I think. Or maybe that was Retro Macintosh that did it. Not quite sure. I probably have to watch his playthrough of stage 3 again. Oh, by the way, up there to the right was, I think, an axe, but I didn't go for it because I knew it was there. And you want to attack this wall here, because this leads you to a bunch of money bags and hearts. Very useful stuff here. And in this lone candle is a rump roast, in case you need one. So now, let's go ahead and take care of this respawning bone dragon. I'm gonna hit the fireballs first because you can hit them with the whip. And I'm gonna hit this one first. That will reveal the holy water, and then I can grab the 5 hearts. You can jump over the holy water, I just don't want to risk accidentally grabbing it. And now we got this nice little corridor here. As well as some more spikes. Awesome. I thought I wasn't going to make that jump for whatever reason. Now coming up are these little shaking pillars. You want to wait until after they leave that debris when they fall, because even that debris will damage you. And these things do a lot of damage, so you definitely want to keep far away from these falling stalactites here. You don't need to get closer than to trigger them. Once they're on screen, they just trigger on their own. After a second or two. And we are finally out of this cave, and we are over here. Once we cross this bridge made out of logs, it falls away. We can't go back. And again, there was no such thing as going back in the earlier Castlevania games. Let's avoid this green spike ball that's reminiscent of the hedgehog enemies. You'll be seeing those as you make your way up. Thankfully, you don't have a bunch of water rushing up, kind of like that one scene in that one level in Rayman, the first Rayman. Played that on the Sega Saturn again back in the day. Need to play it again. I know with my skills now, I could probably beat the game. I might do it again one day. For now, let's carefully get this money. And of course deal with one of many of those sprouting plants that comes out right there. And is there a heart here? Yes, there is. There are a few places where you can get a knife or dagger, whatever you want to call it. I know where they are, I might as well show them off. That's one of them. I know there's another one somewhere. There's a big heart in there, but I'm not grabbing that because the reward is not worth the risk. I would probably get hit by that spiked green ball moving around that platform there if I were to even try. I just have the feeling that maybe I would. I love doing that with the whip. Shame that even Dracula X, the Super Nintendo version of Rondo of Blood, known to you guys in Europe as Vampire's Kiss, didn't allow for that. Also, there's another knife if you need it, but I'm not going for it. And once we go over here, we're at some ruins here. Fishmen! These guys show up. They will spit at you. It will hurt. Also, if I stand here, let's wait for 4 crates to fall. There's the 3rd, there's the 4th. Now we don't have to worry about those things hitting us if we go further to the right where we meet another new enemy. These little peeping eyes that cry blood when we're below them. And our good friend the Bone Dragon. Thankfully that didn't send us into a pit. It may have hit the wrong place at the wrong time though. And let's go up these stairs. Whoa, okay, I thought it was accidentally going down the stairs. Did not want to do that. I could use the bone wiggle trick on that if I want to, but I do want to use it for this, to get this dagger out of the way. And I want to be very careful from here on out, because there are plants here. And I'm glad that guy did not send me into the water below. And if I had swung at that time, he would have hit me. If I had swung on that hook right there, he would have been in the way and he would have hit me. Just so you guys know. Another one of these guys. Gotta get close in order to hit him with the whip. But that's why, then again, that's why I usually do the trick with the whip wiggle. Also helps to get over there. Now let's carefully get over here. Those lighter shade blocks will crumble under our weight. Kind of like the ones we saw on the way into the castle. Gotta be careful. I don't know why I'm messing this up. Can I do this? Nope. I can do this though. If you can position yourself on that block correctly, you can hit the bone dragon from down there. And you don't necessarily need all the hearts that it drops. I just want to get it out of the way so it doesn't hit me while I'm on these steps. I forgot to mention, you do get knocked back when you get hit, and you can't control where you go when that happens. So you can get knocked to a pit. But if you're on stairs, you don't get knocked back. We also have these skeleton knights. They take 2 hits to kill, and they try to hit you with a sword. Thankfully, I'll be able to take care of them from below, and I can get some chicken leg action going on there. And I want to be careful going up here. And I do believe I want to stand down here, right up here, all the way to the right. Duck down, and get those crosses ready. Jump over that just in case. And there we go. Be careful going to get the crystal here, because you can still die here. And with that, we are done with the first 3 stages of the game. Next up is stage 4. And we're getting a little closer to Dracula's castle already. But that will have to wait until the next video. So join me next time where I go through stages 4, 5, and 6 and see how much closer we can get to Dracula. So until then, this is Prince Watercrest. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!